So today I'm going to teach you how to make a candy purse. The things that you're going to need is beads, obviously, scissors, and then I'm using fishing line. This is a 30-pound test. You get 250 yards. You can buy this at Walmart. If you go in the camping or fishing section, it's like $2.50 and you get a lot of it. It's really, for what you pay for it, it's awesome, and you get so much of it, and you can use it for so many different things. I like to use it for flat payout things that really don't need to stretch, because elastic is expensive, and this will last you forever. I've only gone through one of these in like 2 years, so it's awesome. It will last you forever. So I've already made one panel of it. I'm going to show you how to begin a panel. I'm not going to do the big purses where they've got the 4 sides and like the messenger bag kind of things. I'm going to teach you how to make a simple purse made with 2 panels that's got a flap that folds down and then a strap on it, and that's what I'm going to teach you how to make, because it's the simplest, it's easy, and it's not going to take me forever to make it. The reason that I'm making this tutorial is because I was asked to do it. I've never made a candy purse because I just really haven't felt the need for it. I usually wear my stuffed animal backpack, so that's what I do, but it's kind of growing on me. The penguin's really cute. I modified this from a pattern that I found on Candy Patterns, and then I just did the stripes in the background because I thought it was cute. The other panel is going to have a fish on it, and it says nom 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 nom, and it's got a heart over here. It's really cute. I'm going to insert pictures on my patterns that I made for you guys. And also, when you're making this, I would recommend not wearing candy or anything, because the fishing line, it isn't like elastic where it's straight. It's all curly and stuff, so it gets caught and stuff easy, and it is a pain sometimes. I'm also going to teach you that when you're making it, how to attach more string to it, because anybody who's worked with fishing line knows that it is horrible when you have to tie 2 pieces of fishing line together when you run out. The good thing with purses is that there is a very simple way to add more string and it not be a pain. With other small payout things, you really kind of can't do it that way. So that's one bonus of making a purse. Oh, when I was talking about the big purses that have like the side panels that are like square, I'm going to explain to you how to do that. I'm not going to show you. Maybe I'll do that in a video in the future if I ever do make a big giant backpack or a purse or something like that. But this is just going to be a simple purse for people who are beginners. I'm also going to assume that when you are making this, you know how to read a pattern and that you know how to do payout stitch. If you don't, I've got videos on that. Check that out. I think if you look in my simple candy playlist, and I've also got one on how to read patterns if you don't know how to do that. Again, I'm showing you how to make a generic purse. I'm not going to show you how to do a specific pattern. I'm showing you how to construct it, how to put it together, and you can apply any pattern you want to that way. So you're not stuck on learning how to only make one kind of purse. I'm also going to show you just modifications and different things that you can do. And then this is a button that I put on it, so when you put the flap on, you'll have a button on there. Or you could put like 2 magnets that stick together, or whatever you want to do with it. You can put ribbon and tie it closed. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, let's get started. So how I do mine is I cut a lot of string. Like, I'm not quite sure how much this is. I just pull out a whole bunch, because the longer your string is, the easier it is, because then you don't have to go and tie more string and attach more string over and over and over again, and that gets really frustrating. So the more string that you start off with, the better. For this one that I did here, I only needed 2 pieces of string because I used really long string. So how to start this? We're going to start the skeleton. And what the skeleton is you'll start with like 1 bead, and you'll have 2 beads, and then you string on 1 bead again, and you'll have 2 beads, and then 1 bead, and so on and so forth, and it goes like that, and that's how you start it. That's the first 3 rows in the pattern. So if you look at this, that would be the first one, that would be the second one, the third one, and so on and so forth. So it's this bead, and the one on top, so those 3 rows. Easier way to picture it is, if you like the patterns on Kandi patterns that have the numbers on it, you can double click on there and then you'll see the numbers 1, the 2, and the 3 for the rows. If that's how you read patterns, then that's a better way. I just look at it visually and I do it that way. But if you need some help with that, then that is a resource that you can go to. Okay, so once you have cut your string, you want to match your ends up so they're together. And I'm starting off with a striping pattern like this. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side, and the first 3 rows are all stripes. So I don't have to worry about the pattern or anything else on it. And so I'm going to show you guys how to make the striping really easy. If you can also do this with cuffs or anything that you do, it's all the same pattern if you're trying to just do stripes. It's not going to work if you have any other color beads in it, but it'll work for stripes. It starts with 2 beads on it, so you just put on both beads. I don't worry about if it goes on the left or the right or what side the color goes on, because in the end you're going to be able to flip them over when you add other beads in, so it really doesn't matter what they go in. So the shortcut, how I do it, is first you have to look at your pattern. If it starts with 2 beads, you put on 2 beads, and then whatever the second color is, add that on, and from there's a pattern. My second colored bead is yellow, so I put the yellow on there, and then you just add both colors. And then for the next one, you add the opposite color. So this one started off with yellow, so then I added green. And the continuation of this pattern would be add the 2, and then add yellow, and then add 2, add green, add 2, add yellow, add 2, add green. And that's how you can do the striping, and it'd be really easy, and you don't have to worry about what side goes on what. And so you just finish out your entire row by adding 2 beads, 1 bead, 2 beads, 1 bead, 2 beads, 1 bead. And when you get to the end of that, then I will show you guys how to tie that off and to start the next row. So finish your skeleton, and I will see you back after that. Okay, bye. I just thought about it, but I probably didn't tell you what the size of my purse is. My purse is 32 beads long and 22 beads high. So that's how the size of my purse is. But once you get all of your beads on, you're going to want to take them, and you can twist it around your finger, but be very careful, because if you pull too tight with fishing line, it can actually cut you, so be very careful with that. But you take it and you push all your beads down, and you're going to notice that some of them bunch up on top of each other. Just make sure that the 2 are not like diagonal like that, and that they're actually on top of each other. So you can run your fingers down and it'll straighten them out. And so what we're going to do to tie this off, because we have 1 bead, we don't have the 2. If you happen to have 2 on yours because you did an odd number, you would tie it the same way. It's just if you have the even number like me, you're going to have 1 loose bead on here. So just be very careful with that. And we're going to tie a double knot on this, just a regular square knot, and then we're going to double knot it. So 1 knot, and then double knot. Okay. So now that we've got this tied down, what we're going to do now is to start the next row. If you have the diagonal, like I did on mine, then I'll show you how to do this. You're going to notice you're going to have 2 strings, and it really doesn't matter which one you use, because for the most part you're going to start off and just use 1 string. Occasionally you might tie knots with the other one, but the other string is just kind of going to sit there. And the reason that is later on you can weave through the beads when you're about to run out of the string, tie the knot, and then cut off the string that you ran out of, so you'll have another string on there. So it just doubles up your string basically. So just set one off to the side. You don't need it, it doesn't matter right now. Okay, so to keep this bead from falling off, we're going to have to take a bead and string through this one, so up and around. Because this one is yellow, we don't have to flip that around unless you wanted your yellow stripes to go this way. I want my yellow stripes to go this way. So I'm putting on a yellow bead and then stringing through that yellow. Pulling it all the way through. There we go. And because you did that, you started your next row and it secured this bead because you've got the string that goes through these two. And then we're going to add a green bead to start the green. And then I'm going to show you what it's like to flip around after we string on this last bead. What I'll often do is put multiple beads on before I pull all of the string along because it is so long. So like I'll put like 4 or 5 beads on and then pull the string so it goes all the way through them first. But now you see your green goes up and we don't need that because we just strung them on for the diagonal. Again, if you're just doing a different pattern or if it's all solid or whatever, you don't even have to worry about this. But it's if you're doing stripes, this is an easier way to do it. So you don't have to worry about it. You can just flip it around, and then when you add your yellow bead on, it'll be the right direction. So when you pull it through, it's the right way now. And you continue to do that all the way till you get to the end. And I'll show you how to start up to the next row, and then after that I think you can get the idea until you get to the end of your panel. If you need to add more string or whatever, I'll show you guys how to do that too as well. So I'll see you when you get finished. Okay, so once you have finished your row, you would do the same thing here. You'd add a bead on and string through the bead that's sticking up on this end, and you would go down and finish that row again. I wanted to show you how to tighten this because one thing when you're working with fishing line is that you have to make sure that it is tightened, because if you don't, then you end up getting sometimes your stuff will warp weird, or you'll have like a part that sticks out a little bit more. So one way to correct this, to make sure that it doesn't happen, is wrap it around your hand. Again, be very careful, make sure that you don't cut yourself. And then I kind of go like this and twist it, and that tightens it up. And then I'll go back the other way. Oops. And tighten it. And it sits tight after that. And I do this with every row to make sure that it's tight and nice. But one thing also you have to be aware of is over tightening, because you can see, well, first off, when you make the purse, it's going, with the fishing line, it's going to bow a little bit when you make it, but you see like this bump here. That was because I tightened it way too tight on one side, so that's also one thing that you need to be aware of, is over tightening can be a problem. But for the most part, just make sure it's tight. It's more of a problem for it to be loose than it is for it to be tighter. But the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is how to add more string onto it. So I will